Hello, my name is Nourhan Bakir Abul Hawa. My project is Meditation Center in Siwa Oasis. The project's name is Amundra Center. The main topic of the project is eco-social structures. For the introduction, social structures or social buildings, we can also call them public or publicly used structures, structures that we and the community and the public use or that are sometimes financed by the public government individual are called community structures. These structures are important in today's society as well as in the previous eras. When we analyze their purpose, location, and historical background, social structures have maintained their importance to this day. It would not be right to limit the social structures or to squeeze them into a mold. There are social structures in various different sectors, from health, education, culture, public buildings. When we look at the principle of sustainability, their existence for many years is a proof that social structures are sustainable. Keywords: public and social spaces, community, social, public, publicity, semi-public, social buildings, structures, public buildings and structures. What is social structures? Any facility that is open to the public and is financed with public funds is referred to as a public building. State and local governments use tax money to create public structures. Public buildings sometimes used to provide services to the general public. Most of the services are available to the people for no cost. Public schools, libraries, courthouses, and post offices are all in the list. Definition of public in architecturally way. Public in architectural terms, the use of public in general in architecture terminology these days and sometimes associated with buildings and sometimes with open urban spaces. Therefore, it's necessary to know the difference between the concept of the public and the general concept. What are eco buildings? Eco buildings, also known as green constructions or green buildings or sustainable buildings, a building that has been made in a way that doesn't harm the environment and refers to the building or the structure and the application of processes that are environmentally responsible and resource efficient throughout a building's life cycle, from planning to design, construction, operation, maintenance, renovation, and demolition. The five principles of green and eco buildings: livable communities, energy efficiency, indoor air quality, resource conservation, water conservation. Three basic parts of sustainability: social, economic, environmental sustainability. The public squares has two defining. For example, theater buildings may not be public property. Uh, they may belong to individuals or theater groups, but they exist to the public. That is, they are public. On the other hand, public space refers to accessible, reachable buildings, blocks that allow public use, or urban or open urban spaces. And here, which are accessible open urban public spaces, are space that can be used from all people, such as parks, squares, streets, etc. Open, semi-open, and closed public spaces. Public buildings are any structure used by public and financed by government from tax money. Most of the services are provided free to residents. There are three types of it as follows: open space public, as such as streets, parks, and squares. Semi-public space are open spaces that can be used by all people of the society when the limit of private space is existed, but mostly controlled by the users in the domain. At this point, the ideal is that individuals can connect to their private spaces from semi public spaces. Closed public spaces such as airports, cultural centers, shopping centers, schools, museums, cinemas, theaters, and opera house, and etc. Private spaces house interiors and gardens, semi-private spaces, courtyards, and apartments that can be used by specific people only. The importance of the semi-public space, the standard for success urban space design, is a sense of place and belonging by construction of public space, an individual's feeling of belonging in their feeling of being a vital part of the cultural and natural environment. This situation shows community consequences by allowing the individual to be recognized by other, interact socially, and share common historical links, values, and locations. The importance of public spaces, the concepts of public, semi-public, public spaces, and semi-public space and urban space quality are occupy a large place such as streets, squares, parks, courtyards are open to everyone's use. Uh, are open to everyone's use and are everyone's use and are public uh, everyone's use and are public spaces where people can come together doing their different activities. Finally, public spaces refers squares, streets, parks, which are called urban spaces that are open for all of us. Public spaces are defined as uh, spaces where everyone can freely use, carry out their daily activities, where people can freely express themselves and communicate with other people. Courtyard as semi-public space. The courtyard is open area, open from the top, walled area into the middle of a building or group of buildings, and they are the middle spaces of the buildings, and they are small open spaces. Types of social structures. Many of the buildings that we use in our daily lives can be considered as social buildings, such as educational, administration, cultural, health, commercial buildings, cinemas, libraries, museums, theaters, opera house, police station, post office, any government buildings, shopping centers, mosques, church, and etc. Um History. The history of social structures established a length timeline was examined from the ancient Roman period to the ancient Greek period, from the Byzantine cities to the Ottoman Empire, and from the past to the present. The purpose and how the social structures served these states and peoples were investigated. Finally, some public social structures were selected and resolved in the form of SWOT analysis and matrix analysis. History of community structures. First of all, the Roman Forum. The Roman Forum, which shows the development of Roman civilization, that is the city center of the Roman Empire, which one of the most developed states in the world. The progress of the empire throughout history. It is known that the Roman Forum began to appear in the Roman Empire during the period called the Early Republic. There are many public buildings, monuments, and other buildings. The area that was the swampy land dried during the region of the seventh and last Roman king of the Roman kingdom. Mosques. The mosque is the place of worship in Al-Islam religion. Generally, small mosques without minarets or small places reserved for worship in some institutions and organizations are called masjids. The term mosque is not used in the Quran to describe a place of worship. The concept of mosque, which means the place where prostration is made, the first temple Kaaba, and the first mosque is Mosque, uh, Qiba Masjid, and Al Masjid Al Nabawi, and it has spread by continuing with its similar type and has survived until this day. Islamic religious architecture is based on the eighth verse of Surah At-Tawbah in the Quran, one on the construction and repair of mosques, and the hadith of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, praising worship, services, prayer, and charity. In those days, there are no mosques, so worshipping and praying to Allah was done in open areas with lines drawing. During his migration to Al-Madinah, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, stayed for a few days in a place called Quba near Al-Madinah. The Prophet had a mosque built for the time he was in Quba, which is known to this day. In the early days of the migration, the Qibla of the Muslims was Jerusalem in Palestine. Later, it was changed to Kaaba in Mecca in Saudi Arabia. Here's some pictures of the most three important mosques in Al-Islam religious. The first one is Qiba Mosque in Al-Madinah. The second one is Kaaba in Mecca. The third one is the Dome of the Rock Mosque in Jerusalem in Palestine. Here is Al-Haram Al-Qibli General Plan in Jerusalem, Palestine. And here's a perspective for Al-Haram Al-Qibli that shows number one, Al-Aqsa Mosque, number two, Al-Sakhra Mosque, the Dome of the Rock. The third one, number three is Al-Buraq Wall, and it's the Western Wall. And number four are some palaces from the Umayyad era. Here is Google Earth shot for Al-Kaaba Mosque in Saudi Arabia, in Mecca. The red area was expanded in 1956. The green one was expanded in 1989, sorry. The blue one was in 2008, and the orange and the yellow are future plans for expansions. The agora, which expressed as city square, means gathering to come together, or which means gathering place. Using the usage of agora as a local market, trade center, financial center, export port, court area, festival area, horse games in the agora as a religious area and as an educational area. There's the Athena Agora and Hippodrome. For the case studies, the first case study is Ataturk Cultural Center in Irigli in Turkey. The second case study is Sabina Sayed Oglu Art Academy in Ankara. The third one is the Crystal Cultural Center in London in UK. For the SWOT and matrix analysis, first of all, the strength of Ataturk Cultural Center. being on the side of a two-way highway and having an easy access for public transportation, stop and sidewalks on these roads, having two high schools around and being in a position to support the cultural access, together with the Mu- uh, Black Sea Wrigley Museum and the Hercules Institute, providing people with a beautiful views thanks to its proximity to the sea. Strength of Sabina Seyd Oglu Art Academy. Since it's located in an area that doesn't have heavy traffic, lessons can be given without any uh, lessons can uh, lessons can be taught without being hindered by external factors. It operates in a restored structure. The Crystal Cultural Center, um, the environmental innovative passive design that was mentioned above. The weakness for each of them, expressing for Ataturk Cultural Center, expressing problems and roof flags, uh, uh, insufficient. Exhibition, wedding halls and library, old and useless light, heating and ventilation system, lack of parking area for people arriving by private, uh, risk of dampness. The weakness of Sabina Seydoglu Art Academy, the structure is which is operates is not suitable for voice training by design. It's difficult position in terms of transportation. It doesn't have a garden where activities can be held between classes. And for the Crystal Cultural Center, the following points are the weakness of the project, which took lower scores such as sustainability sites, indoor environmental, quality and energy atmosphere. Uh, Threats being vulnerable to windows blowing from the sea due to its location, and for Sabina Said Oglu Art Academy, since it's an old building, it's being restored. It's in danger of uh, concrete life. The Matrix. Now I'm going to talk about the meditation center history. Meditation is an ancient practice that is believed to have originated in India and China several thousand years ago. Throughout early history, the practice was adopted by neighboring countries quickly and formed a part of many religions throughout the world. Ancient history, the earliest documented records that mentioned meditation involved Vedantism, which is a Hindu tradition in India around 1500 before century. However, historians believe that meditation was practiced before this time, as early as 3000 before century, between 6 to 500 before century. The development of other meditation forms was recorded in Taoist China by Buddhist India. Early history. A Japanese monk, his name is Dosho, discovered Zen on a visit to China in 653 and introduced the practice of meditation to Japan upon his return to the country. Opening the first hall of meditation, the practice grew significantly in Japan from the 8th century until now. Uh, the term meditate origins from the Latin word meditatum, which means to ponder. Middle Ages and modern history. Throughout the Middle Ages, the practice of meditation grew and developed into many religious traditions as a form of prayer, such as Jewish meditation. In the 18th century, the ancient techniques of meditation began to become more popular among the population of Western cultures. In 1979, the mindfulness-based stress reduction program was founded in the USA, which used meditative techniques in the treatment plans for patients with chronic diseases. Since this time, meditation has become more common, such that a survey in 2007 found that most 1 in 10 Americans had meditated. It plays a central role in many religious traditions and re- uh, traditions, in addition to helping individuals to manage the stress and improve overall well-being. Modern meditation. Modern meditation has been developed to match the needs of people in every part of the world. It's usually done by those who can't find what they are looking for in traditional meditation's long-standing traditions. It's how Zen meditation began in China in the 6th century, how meditation became popular in the 1960s, and how modern meditation is being practiced today in North America. For example, they use yoga and traditional meditation types. Meditation types, there are three meditation types: the Indian, Jewish, and the Chinese. The Indian meditation consists of two types, Hinduism and the Buddhists. Briefly, in Hinduism, the ideology behind meditation is more spiritual than religion. The purpose of meditation are varied in Hinduism, such as physical strengthening and also mind control. In the extreme sense, meditation is a way to obtain union with the Creator or God. Buddhists, on the other hand, do not believe in God. The main purpose of meditation is self uh, realization. Jewish meditation consists on religious practices, includes of settling the mind, visualization, emotional um contemplation, contemplation of divine names, or philos- uh, on concentration on philosophical ideas. Meditation many include unstructured personal Jewish prayer, may be part of structured Jewish services. The Chinese meditation. There are many different types of meditation, Chinese meditation, but Tai Chi and Buddhist meditation are the most well known and practiced. Uh, Tai Chi is one of the most popular types of Chinese meditation, not only because it pro- produ- uh, produces a peaceful mental state, but also because it develops the mind's muscles. A succession of beautiful poses flow easily from one to the next in the style of meditation, body, mind, and spirit. Tai Chi is divided into several kinds, each focused on different elements such as uh, increasing flexibility or developing a strong feeling of spirituality. Anyone with joint issues should ask the doctor before starting to this practice or this routine. So the project location is the project is located in Siwa Oasis in Egypt, uh, next to Siwa Salt Lake. The site area is 5,000 square meters. What is Siwa? Siwa is an Egyptian city and oasis in the western Egyptian desert, about 300 kilometers from the Mediterranean coast and 598 kilometers away from Alexandria city. It has wells and springs that are used for irrigation, drinking, natural water bottling, and treatment. Siwa is one. Siwa is one of the depressions of the Western Desert that formed a green oasis on an area of 1,088 kilometers. Siwa has an area of um, 94.94 around 94 and a half square kilometers and belongs to Matruh Governorate. It's 755 kilometers away from Cairo, 65 kilometers away from the Libyan border, 307 kilometers west of Marsa Matruh, and 598 kilometers away of Alexandria city, and 600 kilometers away from Nile Valley. It's bordered in the north by Rocky Mountains and in the south by sand dunes, and it enjoys a mild climate throughout the winter. In the middle of the oasis, there are four salt lakes: Al Maasir Lake, Al Zaytun Lake, Siwa Lake, and Al Maraqi Lake. Why Siwa? Uh, Siwa is famous for medical tourism, and its sand provides natural elements suitable for alternative medicine purpose. In addition, despite its desert nature, it's rich in lakes and groundwater. Siwa is 18 meters below sea level, causing the presence of sulfur basins, which are used in treatment of uh, some skin diseases and some joint diseases. Finally, the weather factor has a very important role as it is um, finally, the weather factor has a very important role as it's characterized by dryness and humidity, which also helps in the recovery and treatment processes, especially for those suffering from uh, respo- uh, respiratory diseases. Beneficiary Authority, the Egyptian Ministry of Tourism, and Matruh Governorate. Matruh architecture in Siwa Oasis. The architecture in Siwa Oasis has a special character. The houses are built with uh, Karashif, Karashif stone, which consists of salt and fine sand mixed with mud. The doors and windows are made of the olive and palm wood. Uh, Accommodation in Siwa Oasis is characterized by the uh, presence of a number of ecological and um, ecological hotels, all of which consist of one or two floors, and most of these hotels and resorts are built in the old Siwa architecture style. Even hotels and resorts with a modern architecture are committed to unifying their appearance and the colors of their facades. Design concept: the project aims to form a meditation center in Siwa Oasis in Egyptian and the Chinese meditation style will be connected to the major design elements of Egyptian Siwa architectural style. Vision and goals: using the local architectural style in Siwa Oasis, which depends on the courtyard and square shaped plans, using mashrabiyas and shading elements in patterns inspired by the nature of Siwa Oasis. Preserve trees and any natural resources on the site, using the three steps of wellness chart, which is body, mind, and spirit, and distribution the functions on three buildings according on the three steps of wellness. Ecological decisions: grey water system, daylight system, isolated glazing, um, other elements such as LED lights, solar energy, rainwater system. In addition of using the courtyards and adding green areas. Here's some pictures from the site views. For the site analysis, first of all, the main and secondary roads. The orange one shows us the main roads, the green shows us the secondary roads. Noise and pollution, circles shows us the noise areas, and the square shows us the um pollution areas. Summer and winter sunpath diagram. The blue line shows us winter the winter sunpath diagram, and the yellow shows us the summer sunpath diagram. Summer and winter wind diagram or direction. The winter wind comes from northwest, and the summer wind direction comes from the south to east. Accessibility to the site. The distance between Cairo to Siwa Oasis takes around 8 hours and a half without stops, and the distance between Alexandria to Siwa Oasis is it takes around 7 hours. The distance between Matruh to Siwa Oasis takes around 3 hours and a half, and the distance between Cairo International Airport to Siwa Oasis takes around 8 hours 45 minutes, and from Alexandria International Airport it takes 6 hours and a half to Siwa Oasis, and the distance between Matruh International Airport to Siwa Oasis it takes 3 hours and a half, around 3 hours and a half without stops. The climate here, these graphs shows us the climate, the monthly average of minimum and maximum daily temperature, rainfall, uh, rainfall days, sunshine hours, climate data for Siwa. For the functions and spaces and the project program, the functions are lobby, indoor meditation area, outdoor meditation area, yoga room, a yoga room, training room, spa, store, restaurant, administration area, shower rooms, changing room, meditation room, bedrooms, all multiplied by 30% to get the circulation total area. The project total area is 1,851 square meters. The administration program that area have one manager, one secretary, five offices, one meeting room, two toilets with a total area 144.8. Restaurants, the project will have one restaurant with a one dining area, one kitchen, one waiter area, one empties area, one store, two toilets with a total area 244.8. The spa have five massage rooms, two sauna rooms, two Turkish bath area, two toilets, two shower rooms, two changing room, two lockers area with a total area of 214.3. Built and unbuilt and green ratio. Built ratio is 37 percent, and the unbuilt area and the green area is 62.98%. Here's the main bubble diagram and the zoning. Vision and goals. Using the local architectural style in Siwa Oasis, which depends on the courtyard and square-shaped plans. The building's architectural design, which relies on a square-shaped plan with a cool inner courtyard, helps and gives the availability of air movement and cool air, adding elements to improve the performance of the inner courtyard, such as the use of trees in the courtyard prevents solar radiation and separate the cold air below and the hot air above it. Using water features of water to increase the provide of using water features to increase and provide hydration. Designing the courtyard as a cool inner courtyard, and this type of courtyard is used in the hot areas, using shading elements with abstract pattern for palm trees, and this is because Siwa Oasis is famous for its palm trees. Uh, Preserve trees and any natural resource on the site, using the three steps of wellness chart: body, mind, and spirit. Adding 8 bedrooms for those with short treatment periods or those with a minimum treatment period of 7 days. Adding rooms for all kind of meditation, such as music, candle meditation, and etc. Planting flowers suitable for the hot weather, such as lanta, vinca rose, and wedella. Adding solar energy system to take advantage of the available sunlight throughout the whole year. Gray water, Grey water and rainwater system will be added to the project according to the ecological section graph that will be shown now. Rainwater will be collected through specific collectors from the roofs and the ground. It will collected in tanks. After that, it will be reused to irrigate the plants, trees, and flowers, and it will be used in the toilets and kitchen, and it will be pumped from the tanks through pumps to serve the whole project. Um, adding room adding rooms for opening the 7 chakras, providing the site with several parkings for visitors and the employees. Here's the site plan, uh, ground floor plan, that have the entrance, spa, semi-outdoor meditation, main rooms, administration, services, gallery, security, vertical circulation. First floor plan that have indoor meditation area, pilots rooms, yoga, restaurant, training room, vertical circulation, single and double bedrooms. Section AA, Section BB, south and west elevation. Here's the reusing water system. The pink line shows us the sewage water, green shows us the main water, blue shows us the reused water, and finally the orange shows us the rainwater. The water are going to be collected through some collectors added to in the roofs and in the site area, and they will be collected into underground tanks. After that, it will be pumped to the project. Here shows the advantage of adding water surfaces. The large temperature difference between night and day is a significant climate feature that the courtyard depends on to work properly. Hot air raised to the top due to the sun's rays because its density reduced. It takes the place of cooler air, which heats up and raises to the top, and so on. Some 3D shots for the project. This shot shows us the whole project, entrance, and the outdoor meditation area. The development. The project aims to form a meditation center. The site is located in Siwa Oasis in Egypt, 755 kilometers away from Cairo. 598 kilometers away from Alexandria, 307 kilometers away from Matruh Governorate. The total area of the project is 5,000 square meters next to Siwa Salt Lake and Siwa Oasis. Siwa Oasis was chosen for this project because it's famous for medical tourism, and Siwa sand provides natural elements suitable for alternative medicine purposes. The Chinese meditation style will be connected to the major design elements of Siwa Egyptian of sorry to the major design elements of Egyptian Siwa architectural style. Site access. Site access was chosen from the secondary southern road. This is because there is a regular traffic jam on the main northern street. According to the summer and winter sun path diagram and wind direction, the building was oriented to east and west. After reviewing and studying similar projects, the primary and secondary functions were chosen and indefined. The functions area were determined and calculated based on Newford 3rd edition book. The layout of the book was determined and designed in the line with the urban fabric and local architectural design of, of the Siwa Oasis of the Oasis, which is depends on a square shaped with an inner courtyard. The project was designed uh, in the line with some environmental and ecological decisions such as gray and rainwater system, walls and glazing insulation, environmental courtyard, water features to increase and provide hydration, solar energy, and LED lighting system, providing the site with two different parkings for visitors and employees, planting flowers suitable for hot weather such as Lanta, Widella, and Vinca rose, adding shading elements with abstract patterns for palm trees, and this is because Siwa Oasis, as we mentioned before, is famous in the palm trees. Amundra Meditation Center, the project's name was chosen according to the oasis' ancient name. It was Siwa Oasis in ancient time was named as Oasis of Amundra. Amundra, he's the god of sun in the pharaoh's era. Here's the references. Thank you.